He's adamant about you being out today. So you want me to take you down there?
No, not right now.
Well,
I'm gonna lay down right now. I'm gonna lay down right now.
Ethan, you can't lay down and get rid of it, okay?
So I have to be homeless because
Because you opened your mouth, yeah.
I needed to take the day off at work.
No, that wasn't it.
I had to take the day off at work.
No, your mouth did it, not the day off of work.
And I need to lay down. And
Why?
Because I don't feel good.
You need to get your stuff together because you have to be gone before he gets here.
And because I didn't go to work today.
No, that's not the reason.
He said I could.
On and on and on.
He said I couldn't use the bathroom.
Oh, he said you don't clean up after yourself, so you can
Clean
use
up
the
after-
other bathroom with me.
Grandpa, I didn't have anything to clean up.
Oh my God, Ethan, you never do anything wrong, and you have to get so much trouble.
Yeah, and
Get your stuff together, guy.
no.
Well, you will, or he'll kick you out in the street.
Yeah, if he wants to do that tonight, then that's fine because you've made it clear that that's not your decision.
I just talked to him, and he said no.
Okay. So my father, who's a rapist, gets to tell me I have to stay in the room, assault me, force me into the car, tell me he told me I couldn't work out. He told me I couldn't work out. He threw away every article of clothing I ever had. And I don't have a link card. I don't have food stamps. And I need, because they're empty. And I need a home address to get those food stamps. I do need a home address. And I don't have a paycheck until the end of this week.
You don't have a link card because you won't go get it.
Well, I need a home address. And I can't use this if I leave.
You can use it for the time being.
That's against the law.
Look at you and the law. You think you're a damn lawyer.
Nope,
You see, you can't talk to you, Ethan.
The FBI...
You have it all in your mind how
The FBI
should be.
are not going to allow my father to tell me I can't use the bathroom.
He didn't say that.
He did say
He
that.
said to use the other bathroom.
He said, don't use this bathroom.
Well, you got the other bathroom. You can use bathrooms. That's a silly thing.
No, it's not a silly thing. This bathroom is
And not to you it isn't silly, but nothing.
right next to the door.
Ethan, anything that he says is not all right with you, no matter what it is.
He threw articles at me.
He did not throw anything
when the basement
at you.
when the basement flooded, he started throwing
He
things
was
at me.
throwing things, but not at you.
They were at me.
You're a liar.
They were.
Again, you're lying.
They didn't hit me, but they.
You're lying. He wasn't even throwing it near you.
If I didn't move, they would have hit me.
No, they would not have.
And then as
you
he-
were in one end of the basement, he was in the other.
And then, Grandpa, as soon as
Ethan, you're lying. You're
told me
manifesting
you told
things.
me to keep on vacuuming while he was throwing stuff.
Ethan, you're manifesting.
I'm not manifesting anything.
Yes, you are.
The FBI is not going to allow you to keep lying like this.
Go ahead. You call anybody you want, Ethan. They're going to get you. They'll know who you are.
They
and
do
what
know.
you're doing
They
and
do
why.
know who I am.
No, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do know who I am.
Yes, they do. And
You-
they're trying to find a place for you. But you don't want to leave.
Grandpa, you haven't spoken to the FBI.
I'm not going to.
Okay, then
You think the FBI is going to come out here for this? You got to be
no,
joking.
I'm going to go across the street. They're right across the street.
Well, go.
Okay.
Why are you sitting there? You're not going to do anything, Ethan,
because
you ain't got the mobility to do anything.
My grandmother didn't have the mobility to do anything.
Look at, see, you're changing things around.
She fell 7 times, 8 times. You made her sign a power of attorney with her broken arm. You drove her out to the middle of nowhere with Diana to another lawyer, and she signed that power of attorney with her broken arm. And she thought it was like she thought it was part of her living will, and she didn't know.
You're so
She
foolish.
didn't know
You
what a
don't
power.
know nothing.
She didn't know what a power of attorney even
You
was.
don't know nothing.
She
She
wasn't.
had powers of attorney over me,
No.
and I had it over her. That's how that works.
No, she had dementia, which is a disability,
Ethan,
which is a
you
disability,
don't know what
which is
you're
a
talking
yes, I do,
about.
which is a disability, which automatically
See,
keeps her NULL, nulls her because of her
talk to
disability.
Can't talk.
You
You know everything.
you never
and
got-
don't know anything.
you talked about committing suicide. You never actually.
I talked about suicide. Where did you get that?
You were
from?
sitting at the kitchen. I'm not making. You were sitting at
You
the kitchen.
are, you
You were
must
sitting at the
be.
kitchen table, and you said, "I'm going to kill myself because this is insane." And you didn't. And which is why you didn't get a diagnosis for your problem, because the power of attorney does null does void the other person's power of attorney. So you forced her to sign the power of attorney because she already had dementia. And Diana obviously wanted the house or something because when my dad said that he had already talked to Diana and he had already talked to Linda and he's already talked to you, and that you guys are going to legally force me into the car and drive me out of the county.
Nobody forced you into anything.
Well, you
were
talked about it
willing to
before.
go.
You talked about it beforehand, and you didn't talk about it with me.
Ethan,
you
you're the
talked
one who
about it
walked
with
up
them.
and said you would go.
Yeah, I'll go
And
where.
I took you.
Yeah, I went into your car 3 times in 2 years.
Ethan?
I did everything you told me to do.
No.
Yes.
In your mind.
In my mind, you're insane. I did everything you told me to. I watched her every day. I watched her every night. When you went to the store, I was here watching.
Wow, 30 minutes.
I was here every
Ethan,
day.
You were no help at all. Matter of fact, you were.
I'm not dirty. I don't make a mess. What happens in this room stays in this room. I never left dishes. You got so insane. You yelled at me for dishes that were in the sink that weren't even mine, and you blamed me for
When
it.
did I do that? When did I do all of this?
I was sitting, and then I was sitting down. Before I was sitting down in a chair with the laptop, and I wanted to finish my job application, and you grabbed my penis.
That's a lie too.
You grabbed my penis and spit in my face.
Reverse that and it would be right. You took the thing away from me while I was using it.
I did not take it from you, and I did not grab your penis, and I did not spit in your face.
Ethan?
No, if you can't sit here and tell the truth, okay, the FBI...
You don't know the truth. You have it all
live the
in your
truth.
mind.
You can't go to a medical provider and sit there and tell them anything and not be... And sit there... So he basically can go to a medical provider and tell him a complete lie, and the state of Illinois will believe it. And even after he stole my car and they threw away my clothing, they still will think that like he's correct. They think he's correct.
How did I steal your car?
When the police came,
Yeah,
you took my car keys.
I did not.
You did so.
They took your license, but I didn't take your car.
Who took my who? Okay, where's my car at? Was it in the garage?
It was repossessed.
Was it in?
Sitting outside.
Was it in the garage or was it in?
No, it was outside on the drive.
It was outside the drive.
Yes, and they repossessed it.
It was in the garage.
You had it in the garage for a long time.
I had it in the garage for a long
So
time.
they wouldn't repossess it.
I had it in the garage for a long time.
Then you pulled it outside and they come and got
I
it.
did not pull it outside.
Yes, you did.
I did not pull it outside.
I can't
You
argue
stole
with
my
you.
car keys, and
I didn't steal anything.
who'd you call? Who'd you call? You called.
Ethan,
Who did you call?
I can't talk to you.
Who
Ethan.
did you call? 'Cause
I didn't call anybody.
Who did you call for my car?
I called the people who repossessed cars.
He called some random repossessor.
No, I called the place where you got it.
You called the
Anderson.
place. You called Anderson.
Yeah, I told them to pick it up. Yeah.
You told Anderson to pick it up.
Yeah.
Today is the 14th of November of 2021. You did this in 2018, and he has not told me any of this because he doesn't want to finish this conversation. Okay, so
I can't talk to you.
I was unable to call Anderson to get my car back because you didn't tell me where my car was.
You couldn't get your car back because you were way behind on your
I
payment.
was not behind on my
You were
payments.
way behind on your payment. I made the last payment on it. And
You
your
did not
insurance.
make the last payment on that. He wouldn't let my grandmother use the telephone, and he wouldn't let me use my telephone, and he threw away my cell phone. I have over $3 grand in balances from data usages like cell phones. He told me like uh, I bought my own phone when I was like 13. He told me that he told me not to pay for it, and so I didn't pay for it. Then he bought me another cell phone. Then he threw away this cell phone. I have like 3 or 4 cell phones that he has told me that he has caused me to go lose a good credit score for. And then he tries to make up for it by purchasing and making me feel better. But my credit, because it's my credit, it doesn't go away. So my grandfather, like he hurts me, and and he keeps hurting me. And you would think that like $3,000 would not be a big deal, like in financial debt, but because they went to creditors and they're major telephone companies, I had to pay 16% on my car. I didn't have debt. I wasn't in debt before that, but I didn't have a 16% because of my grandfather telling me to break a contract like several times. And I had to break the contract because I lived here. Just like the police were called today, and I have to do what he says, otherwise I go to jail. He did steal my car keys. I did not know where my car was, and after I called months later, it had sat there for several months, and then they took it to auction, my car, and and uh, and so I wasn't able to reclaim my car, and I am now $14,000 in debt for my car. Now I don't deserve to be in debt because he stole my car keys, and had my car towed, and wouldn't tell me. He did not tell me where he towed it to, and and so and then he also told me to cancel contracts with data providers, and other credit cards, totaling $3,000. And the reason the number is so important, the number 3,000 is so important, is because that caused me to have a high interest rate on my car payment at 16%. And if I didn't get rid of the phone at when he told me to when I was younger, the police would be called and I'd go to jail for arguing, for simply arguing. The police came the police came after my car was after he stole my car keys and then took my car. He says he called the tow truck. I don't know. And so the police came and they handcuffed me because I got into a disagreement with him. Literally, this was the disagreement. Um, and um, and once again, he's confronting me into this room. I am not confronting him. He is confronting me. I'm sitting down in this room alone. And the police came and falsely arrested me. They did that like 3 times. And so it's really important that you can't tell somebody at a house to sit there in a room for 2 years and then force them to tell them they can't work out, because their criminal son is now owns the house, and and you can't force this person into the car and tell them they can't take the bus. You can't force this person, like, you can't tell this person like, get into the car. Like, once again, I only was in the car 3 times because I was watching my grandmother every day. So you can't just like tell this person if he doesn't get into the car, we're going to call the police. Like, he literally said, "Get into my car or I'm going to call the police." And I said no, and I got my jacket and I left, and the police came, and I came back, and I went to grab my clothing, and they said, "Look, we're going to call the police." My dad said, "We're going to call the police again, and if you don't just get into the car right now." I had I was I they after I said, "Okay, I'm going to get into the car," and then they threw away all of every article of clothing that I owned. Then they threw away the clothing. Um, when I got into the car, I was wearing flip flops, sweatpants, and they drove me out of the county. Um, and so that was uh, that was legal. I had to get into the car, otherwise I was going to go to jail. I had to get into the car and get driven out of the county, or I was going to go to jail. That's legal. But it's legal for my father to, on parole, assault me and threaten me and threaten me and tell me I can't use the bathroom on parole. And if I say I'm not going, if I say I'm taking the day off from work, then I go to jail. The police get called and I go to jail. If I just say I'm going to take a day off, they call the police and I go to jail.